14-year-old girl playing with her older brother takes a fall as her older brother chases her up the stairs after she stole a forkful of his takeout.
Don't worry, we're bringing in our utensils specialist.
Ouch. That looks like it hurts so much, but it also seems like one of those ER cases that kind of makes the history books, you know. I think every hospital has cases that the hospital has seen, the ER has seen, that are passed down from year to year to year, being like, you know, way back in the day, there was this guy that came in with the blah, 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 you know, just like legends, okay? This case is definitely going to be a legend with her nose and her fork. But one thing I do want to point out here is, you know, the ER docs, we've seen them like they're magicians. They're doing so many things. But you notice here, they're going to call in specialists, ear, nose, and throat specialists, maybe plastics, other people to help who really deal with that specific area in a specialized manner. So ERs do that all the time. Crying in the bathroom. I can't tell you how many times I've cried in a bathroom, whether it's in my office, in a hospital, working. Obviously, I'm working in the hospital, going into a call room, a break room, a nurse's station, little cubby area. You know, sometimes you need to cry, and especially after the day that they've had. You know, even though I'm family medicine and I'm an outpatient doctor, we get medical emergencies as well. And it's terrifying and it's overwhelming and it's so much. Clearly, obviously, we don't do nothing near, not the same amount near as ER doctors. But medicine is stressful. It's stressful even on good days.
We saw 112 mass casualty patients come through here in the last 4 hours. And 106 of them are going to live. None of us are going to forget today.
You know, in medicine, it's a very hierarchical system. I always think of it as almost like an apprenticeship system, right? You really follow the lead from the people that have come before you, and you're expected to follow their lead and to sort of follow orders, essentially. So Noah Wiley's character, he's the attending physician. He's at the top of the food chain along with some of the other attending physicians, but it also seems like he's like the ER director. He's like, he does administrative, so he does everything. He's the head. And then, of course, you've got the rest of the team below. And I'll tell you, especially in medicine, there's something very, very unique and special, but also very rare about seeing your attending, your superior show emotion. That scene makes me cry because you know how he feels, but you know also probably how tough it is for him to show that emotion in front of the people that he's leading.
So go home, let yourselves cry. You'll feel better. It's just grief leaving the body.
They had a hard day. Do you think she's coming back? I don't know if she's coming back. She's struggling. I don't know. Write in the comments. Do you think she's going to come back?
I could have kept him for a few more days on ECMO.
You gave him a fighting chance. And then you used the limited resources we had to give that little girl a chance.
You lost them both.
Yeah, but you did your best.
Couple of notes about this scene. I really appreciate when they talk about the vulnerability of doctors. Even amongst doctors, we are not always comfortable telling another doctor when we feel like we messed up or we're not sure what to do. And I'll tell you, I've said this in some of my prior sort of analyses of the Pitt. We doctors, we go home and we think about you. We think about our patients. We think about the decisions we've made. Should we have done this? Should I have done that? We call our colleagues for advice. We look stuff up. We ruminate over things. And every doctor, there's not a single doctor alive that doesn't have a case or a few cases where they look back and say, did I make the right decision? Could I have done better? Should I have done better? I think I did wrong. And it kills us and it haunts us. You know, I know there's a lot of distrust of the medical system, but man, if you knew what I knew, if you knew how much doctors and medical professionals, how you don't leave us as patients. We think about you morning, noon, and night. We think about you like we think about our family, and we want to do right by you.
What the hell are you doing up here?
On occasion, after a long shift, crash here.
Do you actually have a place to live?
I'm currently between places.
This student is on rotation. Let me explain something about rotations. Rotations can be anywhere from like 4 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, sometimes 12 weeks. A rotation is when you spend your time in a particular medical discipline to learn about it. And with many medical schools, the students who are on their rotations in 3rd and 4th year actually have to travel to different hospital sites to get their rotations in. Sometimes they don't even stay within the same hospital system. Sometimes they don't even stay within the same city. Some students travel all over the country getting their rotations in based on where they may want to do residency, where there's availability, that type of thing. It can be very, very, very expensive for medical students. Absolutely. And oftentimes housing they've got to find, they got to deal with transportation. It is very, very expensive. And it doesn't surprise me to see that this student has housing insecurity. He's living in a call room because he doesn't have a place to stay and doesn't have a car. You know, I had students that sometimes were bunking multiple students per room. They were trying to find a room here, trying to find a room there. Students that we've tried to accommodate on our rotation site based on where they could get housing.
I have a spare room with its own bathroom.
Sweet.
Oh, for God's sakes, do you want the room or not?
Okay, that is extremely generous, but no, I can't afford to pay you rent right now.
You can move in.
And I'm so glad Santos offered him housing.
I think I finally understand why I keep coming back now. It's in our DNA. It's what we do. We can't help it. We're the bees that protect the hive.
I do believe medicine and being in healthcare is a calling. And I'm not even putting myself in the category of these doctors as ER doctors and trauma, ER folks, etc. But I do feel like it's a calling. One thing I have to say is, as a family doctor, you know, as I was going through medical school, I was excited and looking forward to becoming a doctor, but I didn't know how much I would love it. I actually love medicine a lot more than I even thought. And I do understand what he means by you feel like it's in your DNA. If you're a healthcare provider and you're watching, or you know someone that is, I mean, comment and let me know if you feel that way too. I do feel like it's something that when you do it and if it's meant for you, you don't want to be doing anything else.
My therapist thinks I find comfort in the darkness. Well, I'll give you his number if you ever feel like talking to him.
Does it help?
I haven't jumped off the roof, have I?
So this is an interesting scene because Noah Wiley's character is an ER doc that has recommended therapy actually to a number of people in the ER, like the patients they've seen. And as a seasoned physician, you know that he knows what therapy is and whether it's beneficial in general. And maybe he was asking if it's helpful to his colleague. You know, does it help you? But almost the way he asked that question is almost like, does that work? When it's kind of like, well, you know that therapy works. But either way, he needs therapy, right? And honestly, I really feel that everyone deserves and should have the opportunity to be in therapy. I've been in therapy and go in and out of therapy from time to time. I recommend it for my patients. And I'm vocal about it because therapy is an opportunity to learn about ourselves, understand why we feel the way we do, why we react to things the way we react to them, and so much more. It's very clear that Noah Wiley's character needs therapy. Absolutely. I just am a little bit surprised at how he responded to his partner as though he didn't know how beneficial it could be. Or that maybe he hadn't considered it, which also surprises me because it seems like he's gone through a lot of trauma. But we'll see.
To the Pitt crew.
To all the people we saved.
Here. And the ones we couldn't.
The ability to get together with your coworkers and sort of debrief the day, to kind of at the end of your shift, no matter whether you work in a store, whether you work in an ER, whether you work, no matter where you work, you're able to sort of sit back, take a moment and reflect with your colleagues. I think it does a lot for the mind, the body, and the spirit. This is something that still, like as residents, we did all the time. And even as attendings, you know, sometimes at the end of my day, even in family medicine, I'll be sitting in the doctor's rooms, working on my charts, my colleagues. It's a shared office. And we'll literally just sit in there and sort of talk about either what we saw or what's going on or just anything. And it's a way to kind of decompress. And I love it. Well, I can't wait to see what happens next season. What about you? Write in the comments. Are you excited for next season? Tell me if this analysis was helpful. Write in the comments. Also, take a look at some of my other analyses of the Pitt episodes. Subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. Also, follow me on Facebook. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, etc. Also, follow my free health newsletter at drjencaudle.com. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen. See you soon.